So during my last stream on Friday, I think you will remember where we had some requests to archive my Twitch streams. I'm like, I don't know if I should do it. I don't know. Well, I went ahead and decided to do that. So I am now archiving my Twitch streams on my YouTube channel. So if you go to youtube.com/BrianLagunas, go to my playlists, and you'll see my Twitch stream archives. So now you can come in here and watch any of the past streams that I actually download. Obviously, I didn't download my previous ones because I wasn't planning on archiving them, but you guys convinced me. So going forward, I will start archiving these streams. I might want to edit out that horrible experience with audio. Yes, Infragistics is now free forever. Ooh, I don't know if I can pull that one. Please upload the old WPF ones. I wish I could, but I no longer have access to those. So for example, I'm just going to go to my stream, and I'll click on this little videos link right here. And basically what you see is what I have access to. I'll have to delete that one that was a total failure. But yeah, like Let's Learn Blazor, so I'm going to have to get rid of that. But I only have access to the videos that you guys see when you hit this videos thing. I don't get anything special. And Twitch only holds on to these for 14 days, and then they get rid of them. So I can't get them. Just can't get them. So let me go ahead and close that. And we'll close that. And so today, I actually wanted to play with Blazor because I've heard a lot of good things about it. And I have personally not played with it. So I figured I would painfully go through the process of what you would probably go through to learn Blazor and start by Googling getting started with Blazor and see what we need to do. So I'm going to click on the first one, which is Docs, and I'm just going to read through this. So we got to install the latest .NET Core preview. Okay, let me do that right quick. Let's follow the instructions. I will send you food. Yeah, I'm Sefit. I will send you. You know what? I would take food. I like food. What kind of food though? I'm gonna take the x64 installer, and let's install the latest preview. Yeah, I wish someone had my old videos too. But I don't know if someone can just download them, or if they have to like stream them. I'm gonna go to Jeff Fritz's channel. I'm gonna hit on videos because I don't have access to his channel, and I'm gonna see if I can download any of those. Because that'd be kind of cool if I could. Okay, so is that finished downloading? Oh, okay, so open file. We're just gonna run this right quick. Yep. And hopefully this doesn't take too long. It shouldn't take too long. Is it doing anything? I'm looking at all my monitors. I don't. Oh, okay. Yeah, install. Pretty straightforward. So it's installing the latest runtime. It's going kind of quick. Core host. Windows desktop runtime. Okay. Core targeting pack. And the core host. Oh, missed it. Went too fast. Desktop targeting pack. Core SDK. So I guess this has everything we need to do Blazor. Come on. So I'm still specking out that machine, by the way. On my last stream, we were looking. I'm going to get one. I've decided I'm getting one. I am just trying to finalize my decisions on exactly what processor, and how much RAM, and the video card, and all that stuff. You know, it's a big decision. It's a lot of money, so I got to make sure I get it right the first time. But hopefully, within a month, I'll have it here set up, and I won't be having these issues that I've been having recently with this laptop, which is a ThinkPad, Lenovo ThinkPad Yoga. So I'm using a Yoga right now, and it's fine for like, you know, normal everyday work, business, travel, give some presentations, sessions type stuff. Not so great for trying to stream in HD and have all these emulators and Visual Studio and all this other stuff running. As you can see, I can't even get my mics to work. It's ridiculous. Hey, Carl, how's it going? Nice of you to join us. You missed the drama, my friend. Like, none of my mics work. I had to fall back to the old headset Skype mic because just major issues. Okay, so that's done. So I'm going to close out. What else do we need? Install Blazor templates by running the following command. Okay, so Carl Shiflett just got back from my drug test for my new job. Sweet! Yes, Carl just got an awesome new opportunity for a new position in Indiana, I believe. So let's change directories here, and I'm just gonna, it says run this command to install the templates, right? Yep, install Blazor templates by running the following command and command shell. That's what I'm doing. So let's do it. Let's install the templates. Getting ready. All right. Okay, well that was fast. What did it tell me? Yeah, okay, it gave me Blazor server side, Blazor client side, Blazor library. So okay, Razor pages. Okay, cool. So now what's next? Follow the guidance for your choice of tooling. Install the latest Visual Studio preview. Ooh. I think I have. Hold on, let me search. I think I have Visual Studio Preview. Visual Studio. Yes, I do. Yes. Oh man, that would have really sucked if I didn't install Visual Studio Preview, because that would take the whole freaking stream. Okay, so I'm gonna continue without code for now, because it looks like I need to install something. Open up my says so install the latest Blazor extension from the marketplace. Okay, let's open this up. Let's see what we have here. Item name ASP.NET.Blazor. So theoretically, I can just search for Blazor in my extensions, right? So let's go extensions, online, Blazor. Oh, it actually filled it out for me. Look at that. Bam. Knew what I was looking for. Download. Okay, let's download this. Changes will be scheduled. Okay. Looks like I got to reset. I got to close Visual Studio Preview and try again. Yep. Okay, so far it's not too painful so far, right? Pretty easy. Except for the Visual Studio Preview. That kind of blows if you want to play with Blazor, right? Because that means I have like 5 different versions of Visual Studio on my machine now. I have 2015, 2017, 2019, and 2019 Preview. So 4. Excuse me, 4. But still, that's a lot. Yeah. So Carl's saying you need VS 2019 Preview 16.2. Preview 4. I'm Sefit. Why? Why do you need all of them? Well, because I work for Infragistics, and we provide controls for a ton of different platforms. We support a number of IDEs. For example, I gotta have Visual Studio Code installed because we support Visual Studio Code. So essentially, I keep all of those versions of Visual Studio installed. So when someone has a problem, I can more easily or more closely replicate their environment to test that scenario. So if you came to me and said, Brian, I'm having an issue with this extension, the control configurators on 2015, I can say, oh, well, hold on, let me open up my 2015 and I'll give it a try. And so that just helps me better support everyone and better, just match their environment the best that I can. However, I'm about it's close to dropping 2015 because I haven't had a 2015 support case in, I believe, like a year. So I think it's safe to drop it. And actually, if I remember correctly, even on my latest extensions like the Prism Template Pack and the Xamarin Forms Toolbox, the Infragistics App Map, like even those, I think I don't even support 2015. So I think I can at least uninstall that one and just keep 2017, 2019, and 2019 preview. Okay, Blazor's done. So let me open up the Visual Studio Preview again. Hopefully it opens up on this screen. I hope they fixed that. Because I don't know if you've noticed, with 2019, Visual Studio would always open up on the same screen every time. Even though I dragged it to my primary development monitor right now. Oh, perfect, they fixed it. You know, it used to open up on a different screen every time, and it annoyed the hell out of me. Okay, so while that loads, let's open up our web browser here. Okay, so we installed the latest extension. We're going to create a new project. Select ASP.NET Core Web Application. Provide a project name. Confirm location. Okay. Then confirm .NET Core. .NET Core 3 selected. And then client-side experience. Choose Blazor WebAssembly app template. Okay, I think I remember that. File, new, project. Okay, it said ASP.NET Core Web Application. Here it is right there. Next. I don't care about the name. We'll just call it that. That's fine. Create. Okay. Now I'm supposed to choose the Blazor template. Oh, not responding. Look at that. I get that every time. Okay, so we have some .NET Core, ASP.NET Core 3. Okay. Let's see. Web application, Blazor service. Wait, I have 2 WebAssembly apps. What's up with that? Is that a problem with the... Yeah, it says Blazor WebAssembly app, but I have 2 of them. So hopefully it doesn't matter which one I use. Is this a bug in the extension? This might be a bug in the extension we just found. Okay, we'll try that one. Let's see what happens. Creating web application 1.server. So this must be the hosting web app there. And then we should have a client application that's created. Yeah. Boom, explodes, no kidding. That's all I'm waiting for. I'm just happy I got this mic to work. Otherwise I'd be like using sign language and stuff. Actually my 9-year-old is teaching herself sign language. It's pretty impressive. She's using YouTube to teach herself sign languages. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so I'm going to minimize this a tad. I don't care about my properties. I want to see all my files. So we have a client web app, and we have a server web app, and then we have a shared project here. Okay. So let's go ahead and open up our... Okay. Oh, okay. So all I have to do is hit F5 now. All right. So let's hit F5 and let's see what happens. F5. Exciting. I didn't have to do anything. I'm going to have a Blazor project running. So far, it hasn't been too painful, actually, to create a Blazor project. That was pretty easy. Carl Shiflett, probably have to start the client. I don't know. I'm following their directions to the T. So if it doesn't work, maybe we can submit a pull request to fix their docs. But I'm going to go step by step right here, step by step. I'm doing step 8. So which .NET Core 3 SDK are you using? Well, following this guidance, I clicked on this link, .NET Core 3 Preview SDK, and it opened up another tab. And I installed the Windows .NET Core Installer x64 for the Preview 6-012264. That's the one I'm using. Okay, so it's still building. You know what? I just think building on my machine is just slow in general. Because that's pretty freaking slow for a web app. Well, no, like when I do my Angular apps, it's stupid fast. Like in Visual Studio Code, I just do npm start, boom, we're done. It's that quick. Visual Studio, not so much. Okay. Oh, here we go. What do we got? Gary, have you ordered your computer yet? No, I haven't ordered my computer yet. I am still specking it out and just trying to really dial in the specs. But I have decided I am getting one. I am going to get one. It's a lot of money, right? It's a lot of money. So I want to make sure I get exactly what I need. Not too little, not too much. Yeah, so 64-bit debugging operations taking longer than expected. See what I'm talking about? I can't stream with this. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Okay, that went away. If you start without debugging, apps run real fast. You know what? That's a great idea, actually. That's a really good idea. Minimize this. Let's see. This is a helpful blog from Dan Roth. Okay, well, while that works, let's check out this blog that was just provided. Here we go. ASP.NET Core and Blazor updates in .NET Core 3 Preview 6. New Razor features, attributes, code, key, namespace, functions, Blazor directive, getting started, upgrading, routing. Oh, use routing, use endpoints, use Blazor client.startup. Okay. Well, I'm still learning, so I will bookmark this one. We'll bookmark that. Now I'll come back to it. Oh, here we go. Okay, it's running. Okay, so we have a home, right? Welcome to your new app. How's Blazor working for you? Take a brief survey. We have a counter, and we're clicking this, and some stuff's happening. Seems pretty straightforward. And a fetch data. We have a loading, and then we have some data in a table. Apparently, this is not a grid control because I cannot edit it. It looks like just a normal table of some type. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have here. I'm not sure. Does it explain how this is actually set up at all? Okay, so multiple pages are available from the tabs. And, yep, we saw that. So let's go to pages counter.razor. Okay, let's check that out first. Counter.razor. Okay, so there's our index. There's our fetch. Okay, kind of get that. So we have at page/counter. I'm assuming that's how we decide how we're navigating to the page. That's my assumption. Of course, some HTML. We have some Razor syntax in here with this little at, current count. We have a code block. Now, I've seen the code block and I've seen a functions block, and I honestly don't know the freaking difference. So if you know the difference between a code block and the function block, leave a comment, because I would love to know the difference. Carl says they're the same. Code is the new name. Okay. Yeah, I saw Jeff Fritz coding the other day. I've seen some other videos, as I was kind of looking into this, and yeah, that confused the heck out of me. It's like, what the heck? Yeah, I like code better instead of functions. Code is much better. Better to use a view model or code behind. Yeah, I don't know how to do that yet, Carl. So one step at a time, baby steps. So we have this button with an @on click. So I'm assuming @on click is how we hook into the click event of the button. Now I'm curious, do they have documentation on the events? Because an HTML button click event, I believe, well, in Angular it's click. So maybe it's a Maybe it's a platform thing. Either way, so we have an increment count. Here's our method increment count. And this is different from Angular here. In Angular, you would actually provide the parentheses. But apparently you don't have to do that here. So if anyone's used Blazor, answer me this question. How do I know the difference between a property and a method in my code block? Because it looks like I would bind them the same. Like if I had a property named, public int count for the get set, right? Whoops. Equals 10. What do I know? How can I tell the difference between that and this? Actually, does that even work? No, it won't work because that's not a method. That's not a method. That takes a delegate, so that won't work. And what's cool is we get a compile error. And yes, Chris Sainty on click takes a delegate. Yes. Still, when I look at the code, when I'm reading this, because as Carl pointed out, let's say I'm using like a view model or a code behind or whatever, and I put this in another file, just looking at my HTML, it might take a little more mental calculations to say, oh yeah, that's a method because this is an event that I'm working with. I don't know. I think syntactically, just to make things clear, I think I would have preferred that. Let's see. Maybe stupid questions, but how this compares to Angular? No web dev experience. Well, actually, I don't know enough about Blazor yet to compare it, but in Angular, if I were to hook into this, I would say click as the event name, whoops, like this, and then I would have on click, right? I would have that, and I would actually have to put the parentheses to signify that that's an actual function. So in Angular, it's a function. In C#, we're going to be dealing with methods. Same thing. And in Angular, you could do something like pass certain args with the function itself. I could even pass data from, so for example, let's say this represented something. I could give this a name, a template variable name, and I could even pass that into that function. So that's something you could do in Angular, and I don't know how you would do that in Blazor just yet, but I'm sure it's possible, right? For now, we'll get rid of this. So if you hover over the onClick, there's IntelliSense. Let's hover over this. Yep, sets the onClick attribute. Okay, so at onClick is an attribute that we add to the button. So we're probably not actually using the button click event directly. We're using this attribute provided by Blazor, and Blazor is going to make that connection. That's kind of what I'm getting from that. Delegate value should be of type UI mouse event args. Okay, so we didn't have mouse. So what happens if we add UI mouse event args? UI mouse event args args. Will it still work? Ooh, let's hit a breakpoint. Let's see. Let's see if you hope. Okay, you can do that in Blazor as well. Okay, so Chris is saying we can do just like I was explaining in Angular, which is awesome. That would be pretty. That's cool if we can do that. So I'm going to debug this, and I'm going to see what happens. Oh, the breakpoint won't work. What? Chris is saying the breakpoint won't work. Well, that's no fun. It works in Angular. Ooh, sting. Okay. But, okay. Chris is saying but, and he's going to like blow my mind. You can debug in the browser. Okay. Oh, okay, so Carl's pointing out, yeah, you're in a client app. So the yeah, we're getting the exclamation point right here. So that won't work. If we create a server Blazor app, then we can debug on the server. Gotcha. Okay. And that makes sense, right? Because this is a client-side web application, so you have to go through the browser debug tools. However, if you were doing a server-side Blazor app, you could hit the breakpoints in C#. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Oh, this is so annoying. Okay, this is a little faster than last time. At least I didn't get a dialogue saying it's taking forever. Okay, so let's maximize this and hit. I want to bring up my tools. Okay, so if I wanted to come in here and debug this, would I go to sources? Framework maybe? No, not framework. I'm not seeing my code here. Head to console. Oh, console. Okay, I'm in my console. You know what? Chris is just teaching me how to do this. This is amazing. Chris, why don't you just pop on video and I'll add you to the stream. Debugging hotkey, Shift-Alt-D when application has focus. Okay, I will read the instructions. We will say Shift-Alt-D. Shift-Alt-D. Oh, there we go. Okay, and okay. Unable to find debuggable browser tab. Close all Chrome instances. I'm not using Chrome. This is actually Chromium version of Edge. Okay, so let's do this. Let me actually use Chrome, because I have Chrome installed, but I'm not using it. I have my chat window open in another tab on the side here. So let's use this. So that's loading. So if you follow the instructions a bit long-winded, it will work on Chromium. Yeah, thanks, Chris. I'll look at that later. Right now, I'm being a little impatient. So let's bring up our tools here. Console. Shift-Alt-D. Shift-Alt-D. Okay. Second time always works. Now, I'm a little concerned about that little error we had. Yeah, so target machine actively refused it. No connection. So I might have a problem with my my machine in general. Press Win plus R and enter the following. Okay. Let's copy that. And I'm going to do that. So Windows R. Paste that in. Okay. And I get this error. Cannot find. So it can't find program files. Oh wait, I must have had a typo. Yeah. Yep, I missed that quote at the very end, Chris. Thanks. Okay, let's try this bad boy again. You know what? This actually brought up Chrome. I closed Chrome and it brought it up. Interesting. You know what? Oh, that's favicon. Okay, I'm not worried about favicon. So let's add focus. Shift-Alt-D. Oh, okay. We're connected. No error. Thank you, Chris, very much. All right. So, am I supposed to see something here? I'm just curious. Do I need to bring this off to the side here? Dock that there. And this one here. What happens if I close that? Okay. Hey, wait a minute. Give me this. I said dock that there and give me this. Oh, okay. Yeah, it took a while. Took a while. All right. I thought I had to open them side by side, so I don't. So if I go to sources, Chris says go to sources, and we'll see our source code. Let's take a look. Let me look under framework. So Carl has a shameless plug for his Angular to Blazor video. I will take a look at that. So let's look in here. Okay, wait, yep, I think this is where it's at. Client and shared. So we had the weather forecast. So that's that class that we saw, that I saw in the shared. Pages, counter. So now I can hit a breakpoint. I think I just hit a breakpoint. Yep, I hit a breakpoint. So let's come over here. Can I click? Okay, that's not, is that not a breakpoint? Or do I need to go to my other browser here and hit click? Okay. Let's try a different line. Maybe I gotta be right here. Maybe there? Okay, that didn't work. Let's go over to this one. Okay, so I'm not hitting a breakpoint. So I'm sure I'm doing something wrong. Chris says try line 16. Okay. Oh, I'm on line 16. Breakpoint. Click, 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 click. Okay, no breakpoint. Well, maybe it's because I put that mouse args there. Maybe try a refresh. I'm scared to do a refresh on this machine. Are you kidding me? Holy cow. But okay, let's do a refresh. Wait for this to load. Man, I can't wait to get that new box. I hope it's just zip, 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 zip. Okay, line 16. Oh, it kept the state. You see that? I refreshed my app, refreshed the page, and it kept the state. Unless, actually... No, it grabbed the state from the other browser that's open. Okay, so I can't get the breakpoints to work. I'm hitting a breakpoint. I'm over here clicking. And I can't get anything that... Maybe it's because I added that. Is that not allowed? Oh, that's not it either. Alright, so debugging was a flop. So we'll just, we'll ignore debugging. I'm going to get into the actual code. Since I couldn't test the event args here, I'm assuming it would work. I'm just assuming that. I don't know. But I'm going to remove that. And let's open up the browser here, do our instructions, and see what they say here. So request for counter in the browser, specified the page, yep, at page directive. So we were right about that. I was right. Yep, slash counter, that's going to give me the counter page. So if I wanted to say slash counter 2, right? And then I'm going to debug, start without debugging. That's shift, no, control 5, F5, not shift F5. Control F5. Because I don't want to debug. I want it to be a little quicker if it can be. And it doesn't look like it's any faster, actually. Actually, this looks a little slower. I should have just debugged it again. Carl says server side is so much easier. I'll have to read the benefits of a server side versus client side and what you get, you know, one versus the other, what you should use, when you should use it. That would be a good discussion to have. Okay, so we're loading. Let me get rid of that. Okay, so you see that? I changed the app page, and that link was supposed to go to slash counter, but I changed it to counter 2, so it totally didn't work, which was expected. However, if I say counter 2, it should work, right? Yeah, and it worked. Okay. Well, that's good to know. So that's what that's for. This is your route, if you will. And I'm assuming I can write any C# code I want in here. What if I wanted to add an H2 tag? And my title is, and I want to put a title in here. So let's change this property to a string title. And this is a test title. Okay. Ooh, actually, do they have prop in here? Oh, yes! Check that out. It's code snippets. That is awesome. So prop. Hold on. When would you ever do that? Okay. So that's just picking up C# code snippets in general. Yeah, that's just a snippet built in, but you can still use it. Okay. So that means I have my... Ooh, wait a minute. Oh, I don't have the Prism template pack installed in this. This is the preview. Never mind. Okay. So now, how would I bind... Okay, I'm going to take from what this says. I'm assume I have a property, and I can just say at title. Right? Let's check it out. I'm gonna F5 it because apparently it doesn't matter. It's slow either way. But that's still cool. I can use code snippets in here in my C# code because I use snippets a lot. It made me very productive. So that should totally work. But see what I'm talking about? Looking at title and looking at increment count, my brain has to make this connection of, oh, increment count is a delegate or a method because the onClick is an event. See my comment on UI mouse event args. Where's your comment? Did I miss it? So Carl said he just tested this argument with a UI mouse event args and it worked perfectly. Okay. Thanks, Carl. Good to know. Apparently I'm doing something wrong, or I don't know. But this is what everyone else is going to go through, right? They're going to install the SDK. They're going to follow the instructions step by step, and they're going to come in here and start playing around and hope to figure this out on their own. Luckily, I have Chris and Carl to help me figure this stuff out. Okay, cool. So let's go to counter. My title is, this is the test title. Sweet. Oh, since this is a web app, do I have to actually stop debugging to make changes? Like, can I come in here and say, this is a test title again? And if I save, will it just update? I mean, it's a web app. It should just work, right? Okay, so there's no hot reload, right? So I made a change. I saved it. So there's no hot reload. What happens if I refresh? Can I refresh? Will that work? That did not work either. Okay. All right, so I'm a little disappointed in that. Chris says you need to recompile. Chris says he's got to shoot. He's got to get out of here, but he's been blogging about Blazor since day one pretty much. Okay, perfect. You know what, Chris? Everyone on this stream who doesn't want to struggle like I'm struggling, go to Chris Sainty's website, chrissainty.com, and he's been blogging about Blazor since day one, so he probably has a lot of great content here. Let's see, where's the site at? Where's the site? I'm not getting the site. Either way. Oh, he has one of those websites. You have to use Chrome. Okay, so open up Chrome. That is the Chromium version of Edge, by the way, Chris. That's the Chromium version of Edge, just so you know. Now we'll go to his website. Ah, here we go. Norfolk. Oh, England. I haven't been there in like a couple years. Great. It's great to put a picture to the name. Thanks for your help, Chris. I will definitely be checking this out, and I recommend everyone on the stream to check out Chris's blog. I'm going to bookmark this because I want to check that out. Okay. That way I'm not struggling so much next time. Okay, so no hot reload in either HTML or anything. You got to recompile, which that's a huge bummer. So that's something else. Someone asked about the difference between like Angular and Blazor. That's a huge one for me right there. Blazor, you have to recompile for every little tiny little change. What if I'm in the design phase and I'm laying out my view and I want to constantly see, my view kind of update, and it's real iterative in the beginning. You're making a lot of changes and you don't want to have to like stop, do it again. It's like Xamarin Forms, right? It's like, man, you got to recompile your whole app and launch it for any little stupid change. But now at least Xamarin Forms has hot reload now. So yeah, that's a big one for me. Man, that sucks. That really sucks. Okay. So what else can we do? Let's open up our instructions. Dang, no hot reload. Okay, index.razor. We have the counter tag. Okay, so, I've read this. I've actually read this. These are actually considered components. So the .razor file is a Blazor file that represents HTML with a mix of code using these attributes, right? So this file, this counter.razor, represents a component. So that is very similar to Angular. Angular is also component-based. So everything you do is with components. So since this is a component, you use this as a custom HTML tag, if you will. So I can come in here and should be able to say counter, just like that. Let's Control F5. Let's see if it's faster without debugging. I think it's the same, honestly. So Carl says Preview 6 can't get everything in one day. I want everything in one day, Carl. Come on. I want it today. I want it now. Otherwise, it's useless to me. No, it's funny how our expectations as developers have continuously increased over the years, just because technology is moving so fast, right? We kind of have this expectation of even preview should be very functional. So yeah, I'm hoping by RC that they have hot reload. So Copper Beardy, I believe the RC is due with .NET Core 3. I hope so. And .NET Core 3, I think, is scheduled for RTM in November of this year, I believe. That's .NET Core 3. Okay, so here's our index, and here's our counter. So we totally added that. Hold on, let's go to... Ooh. Did you see that? Oh, no. Why is my title below my counter? Let me go here. Did I put it under my counter? Oh, because I put it under there. Pfft, duh. For some reason in my brain, I thought I actually put the title above the counter. Okay, false alarm. False alarm. Yeah, so here's that counter component right here. So I can click on this, and it's going to function independently. Yes, because it is a different instance, right? So we defined a counter element component here in our HTML. So it's like a custom HTML tag. And so that's creating a new instance of that component. Therefore, when we click on this, it's independent. Hey, wait a minute. Didn't I click on that a number of times? Come back. Oh, very interesting. Okay, so we lost our state there. Okay, so I navigated away from the page, came back to it. So I guess this does act more as a legit website, right? A SPA, a single page application. I went away from a web page. I came back to it, and the state is gone because I didn't save that state off. I kind of assumed this would be more like Silverlight, right? Silverlight, you can like move around and keeps all your state in your pages. So that's something to be aware of. Okay, I didn't know that. Something I just learned. Makes sense. Totally makes sense. Okay. So actually, I'm going to open that back up. What else can we do here? Component parameters. Run the app homepage. Okay, component parameters are specified using attributes or child content, which allow you to set properties on the child component. Oh, we can set properties on that component. Okay, so looks like we have to add a parameter attribute, and then that makes it publicly available to set. Okay, like part of the component. So I already added this here. So technically, I should be able to do this, right? And then come over to my index. And now there's my title. There's my title. Title from index. Save that. And unfortunately, I cannot just refresh. I have to recompile. That really blows. So let's Control F5 that bad boy. And theoretically, that title should just show up. Should just work, right? We should see title from index on that index page for the counter component. Actually, this is pretty cool. If we can get hot reload in there, holy cow, this would be pretty cool. And maybe some design time experience. That might be kind of nice. Yeah, Dan, everything is good in theory. Okay, so this is loading. Title from index. Sweet. Okay, but something I noticed on that code snippet is they actually made this private. Right? So are you saying, is Blazor telling me that if scoping doesn't matter if I put the attribute on? So I can make this private, but I can still expose it publicly by putting the parameter attribute on the title private property. So let's find out. I don't know how I would feel about that, honestly. I guess if you add an attribute, maybe you're technically like overriding the private scope because you purposely put a parameter on it. Carl says, if you use code behind or a view model, it must be public. So that's good to know. So actually that's a little confusing, right? That could actually lead people down a confusing path where they're like, yeah, that totally worked. I said it was private, but it still worked. However, Carl's telling me that if we pull this into a code behind or a view model, it has to be public or it won't work. That's gonna be a little confusing, actually. You know what? Let's look at the instructions here, and let's see what it says. Okay, yeah, we did that. Next step. Okay, see, I'm going too fast for this. I want to know. Okay, let's go to build your first app, or maybe components. What I want to know is because Carl is telling me code behind or view model. So Blazor, let's do this. Blazor code behind. I misspelled that, but it'll figure it out. Okay. BlazorTutorial.net. Here we go. How do we do this? How do we create a code behind class? Okay, so we need a class that derives from Blazor component and then inherits counter class. So that's the code behind, right? All right, so let's do this. I'll put it here just for fun. I don't really care where it goes. We'll add a new class. We'll call it counter class. Okay, and this is all C#, so I should be able to just go copy. Oh, look, I got the Visual Studio copy of Death Ring right in here, and this was Blazor component. I probably need a using statement in here. Gathering suggestions. Was it not Blazor component? No, yeah, it was Blazor component. I need to add this using statement. Let's copy that. Okay. Why is that not working? Oh, Carl's saying that's old code. Okay, okay. Well, that makes sense. So we can't really go off that too much. So Carl says component base. Let's do component base. Now let's see if we get suggestions in our Intel. Yep. Thank you, Carl, for correcting that code. Okay. So now we needed an at inherits. Do I get counter? Is this the class? No, it's not. Do I need to put a slash? No quotes. Oh, no quotes for this. Okay. Counter. Ah, gotcha. All right, so let's check this out. That's old code doesn't work, and here it's counter class. Okay. Yeah, see, it must be old code because they're not even putting that little attribute on there. They're just doing on-click. Okay, so I think I'm done. I don't think we need to listen to that guy. I think Carl can walk us through this. Okay, so now we're done with that. We can get rid of this. And I remember Carl said that if it's in a code behind, that has to be public. So let's change that to public. Let's clean up our using statements, and let's recompile and run without debugging because this is a client app. Oh, build errors. Let's see what we got. Current count. Public. We need to make all this public. And you know what? I'm not going to do it this way. I'm going to make a proper property out of this. Let's do this. Come into our, yep. Hey, that's cool though. We get some IntelliSense, right? We get some compile time errors. Okay, here we go. Public, increment count, current. Okay, everything's public. Everything's a proper property. I think we should be good now. I think we should be good. Run without debugging. So once again, this is a client-side application, so we do not need to. We're not getting any benefit from running it in debug mode, apparently. So where is it? Man, it's so slow. Okay, come on. That's without debugging. Just imagine how long it would take with debugging. And I was going to close this Build Your First Blazor app. Okay, it still works. Yay! But we've converted to a code behind. Now, I remember back in the day, Carl Shiflett wrote an awesome little extension to Visual Studio where we could right-click a file and tuck a class under it. Is that updated, Carl? Can you tell me if that's still available? Because that would be awesome to be able to nest my classes under the component they belong to, just like a true code behind file, right? So I actually kind of prefer separating out the logic from the view, the actual file. Just rename the file, it will nest. Rename the file. Rename the file to what? Do I have to do like razor.cs? Like that? Oh. Sweetness. Thanks, Carl. Yeah. Just, oh, what's this generated underscore? What's that? Huh. Okay. I don't know what that is. Now rename if class. Do I need to have a .razor.cs, or can I just say, you know what, I'm going to find out. I'm just going to try it. Okay, nope, it's got to be .razor.cs. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. I don't like this being down here. That's for sure. I don't like that. But I do like having the code behind. And the real... What the heck? Oh, Carl is trying to talk me through it. He's trying to call me to talk me through it. It's okay, brother. It's okay, man. We can chat after the stream. I don't know. I'm kind of torn because if this HTML file starts getting very large, you know, I don't want to have to like scroll down to see all my code. Oh, Carl's saying answer the phone. He says it's gonna take 2. Okay, Carl, call me back. Call me back. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Go. Let me see. Here we go. Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna put you on speaker. Okay, you're on speaker. Go.
Okay, here's all you have to do. In your code behind, you need to rename the class. All right? That's it. Just rename the class. So add the word base to the class. In the actual code behind file, add the word base. And then go to the HTML file and change it so it says counter base.
Oh, counter base.
Save it. You have to rename it because you can't have the same name file. That's what you're getting. It's because Microsoft didn't implement this correctly yet. I'm sure they'll fix it because they're not doing partial classes yet.
Okay, I did that.
Okay, now that means you're in your code behind. It's your name counter base, and then your HTML file and your Razor file. It's you're deriving or inheriting from counter base, right?
Yep.
Okay, you're done.
Okay, but what about do I still get this generated underscore counter under that?
No, you'll still get the generated stuff. Don't worry about that. Just close your eyes and don't worry about it. I'm sure they're going to fix that.
Oh, okay, cool.
But it'll compile now. By the way, this is all the video that I did.
Okay, sweet. All right, hey, thanks, man.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right. We are squared away on that. But as I was saying, I think I'm thinking that the code behind or a view model might be a little better for a big app because you can imagine with CSS and very large views how big this file can get. So that means you'd be able to like do something more like this, right? You can, especially if you had a big monitor. Like I'm gonna get different monitors too because I think these are only like 27 inches maybe. I think I'm gonna go with like a 35 or 37 wide. Get a couple of those wide screens. But yeah, so I'm thinking, you know, as I have a much larger HTML file, CSS, and all this crazy stuff, I'm gonna want my code separate from that because otherwise it's gonna be a scrolling nightmare. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, this has been an interesting, painful yet productive stream. We actually figured out how to, you know, do a little bit of Blazor. I now understand that this is actually pretty similar to Angular. They're both SPAs, so single page application. What that means is that when you navigate to your web page or your website, you're navigating to one page really. And that's the root page of your entire app, and everything's kind of within that page. In Angular, it's the index page. The index page is the root. It is the single page of the app. Here, I'm not sure what is the single page. There's an app.razor. I'm not sure what this is, but this might be the root of the application, maybe, because I see some router information. And you know what? I am going to run this again, and let's actually look. Let's look at the HTML markup that's generated. I bet everything is wrapped with this app. I bet I'm right. So we have a startup. Ooh, is this DI? Does Blazor have built-in DI? Because we have this app, add component app. Because I see iService collection. That is dependency. And oh my god, I'm gonna love Blazor so much more now if that is DI. It is. Look at that dependency injection. Oh my god, I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, I gotta really look into this. Maybe the next stream we'll play with some DI stuff. Sweet. I'm excited about that. I'm really excited about that. Okay, so let's hit F12 here. Bring up my tools because I want to see my so HTML body. You know what? Oh, app. What? Right there. Look, app. So yep. That's it. Okay, so that's where the app is the body of your main page of your index, right? So if we go startup, we're configuring or adding component, which is the app raiser, okay, but we have program. So this is actually the entry point program. Here's your main. Create host builder, args, WebAssembly create, use Blazor startup. Okay, I got it now. I got it. So program.cs is the entry point into the application. We create the startup file, which adds the first component, which is this app.raiser component. And this does some router. It has a router app assembly type of program.assembly. Okay, so I'm assuming we're going to then hit this index.raiser. But see, I'm a little confused there. I'm confused after we hit the program to start up. Let's look at shared. Main layout. Oh. Oh, no, okay. No, this main layout, this looks like the entry component, like the main component. Is this defined anywhere? We got underscore imports. See, where's the imports at? Nav menu. Okay, that's just a menu. That's not it. But this is the main layout. We have body, at body. And this at body, okay, main. Now, okay, no, this is not. I'm confused. Does anyone know the main entry point? Like my main, I would say index, but I'm not seeing the use of the imports. Like, for example, if I want to add a JavaScript file to every single page at the root HTML page, where would I add? Wait, what's this up here? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What's this? Here it is. Found it. I found it. It's in the www root. It's in the root. Here's the index.html. It's not a Razor page. It's index.html. And here's the app, which is this component, right? And then this script, this WebAssembly script, then does some magic to do the Blazor stuff, right? Is that right? I think that's right. I'm still not 100% clear on this main layout, how this works. Not 100% clear on that. Blazor. Hold on. Do I have this running? Web application. Okay. App. Sidebar main. See, this I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to have to do some more research on this so I fully understand how this works, because I found this is the root page of the app, right? We have our spa. This is the single page. So if I'm adding CSS, if I'm adding scripts that need to be available to all my pages globally, I can add that here. Okay. However, I'm confused. We get to the app part. This is the app component. Type of program.assembly. That's the app assembly. Yeah. I need to do more research on that, because I am not 100% sure on how this, for one, is main layout. Is this the standard or the convention of how you lay out your main page? Like the root, right? And then the body. Is this where you inject all the other pages? Right? I'm thinking that's what it is. About. Blazor net. About. Yeah, about right here. Blazor. Yeah. Sidebar nav menu. So I'm thinking the index. I think the index is your root page, where we're having this app component in here, where the script runs to do whatever it does, which probably calls into the program and then the startup, and then this might be convention, main layout.razor. This might be convention, that this represents the overall structure of your app, and then the body attribute will represent the individual components that are injected in. I could be wrong. That's my first impression. I will research that. Okay. I don't think I'm going to let you guys watch me fumble and struggle through this anymore. Plus, my dad just flew in from Indiana to visit for the week. So I am meeting him at Goodwood in 30 minutes to eat lunch. So now is as good a time as any to call it a day. Thank you to everyone that helped me with the audio issues I was having and worked with me through that. Very frustrating. I'm going to have to figure that out. But thanks for joining. I will see you next Tuesday, same time, same place, and maybe we will continue with learning some Blazor, because this is actually pretty interesting. I definitely want to check out that DI stuff. Angular has DI in it, and it's really easy to use DI in Angular. So I want to see how this compares. And I will try to do some research before now and then to fully understand the initialization process of a Blazor app and exactly what this main layout is, what this does, because I don't see this being used anywhere in these pages, like anywhere. Where's main layout defined? So I'm thinking this might be a convention thing. Anyways, thank you very much again. I will see you next week. I hope you have a great week and a great weekend, and I will see you next time. Thanks.